What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. So for today, I'm going to show you guys how to make a view pager. For those of you who don't know what a view pager is, it's simply just a layout manager that allows a user to swipe through data. So I'm going to show you guys in a quick example of what a view pager is, and I'm actually going to show you guys using my app, Rush TPO. So I'm going to open it up now, and so we can see a splash screen, which you guys already know how to do. And so as you guys can see here, we can swipe right, we can swipe left, and that's pretty much it. So this is a view pager, guys. It shows 3 fragments: the about us fragment, the meet a bro fragment, and the rush fragments. Now, if I didn't use a view pager for this app, I would have had to make 3 activities instead. And I would have had to find some way to navigate to those activities, maybe by a actual navigation drawer or something along those lines. But luckily for me, I knew how to use a view pager. And so here we are, and it's just a nice, simple, clean app. Alright guys, so let's actually get started and show you guys how to use this. So first of all, open up your favorite web browser. You guys already know that I like Google Chrome. So here we go. And you guys pretty much know this step too. Just all we need to do is just type in Butterknife Android, because I do like using Butterknife. It's my go-to for pretty much everything. And for, pretty much every project I use Butterknife. So we need these two. Yeah, so any video that we start, just kind of get used to doing this, because I do like to use Butterknife. I'm gonna go into my build.gradle. I'm gonna paste these two here. And if you guys remember, we do need a few more things. So let's come back here. And if you guys are new to this channel and this video, Butterknife is simply just the way I like to bind my views in Android. It keeps everything nice and organized. So after that, let's actually come here into the GitHub code. Let's go all the way down. We need to grab this class path here. So just go ahead and grab this. Go back into your actual app and go into your build.gradle, the project, and just paste that there. Looks good. And let's go back into our module, build.gradle. I am going to really quickly come back into my web browser, and we're going to grab this plugin as well. So grab this. Let's go back into our project, back into our build.gradle, our normal one, and let's just paste that there. Okay, good. Now let's go ahead and just click sync now. Or actually, we do need one more thing. I kind of forgot. Let's go into our file, project structure. Let's go into our app dependencies, plus sign, and we need to actually grab the design dependency, which is right here. And this is going to allow us to use that view pager that I talked about. So just click OK and OK, and let's just let it do its magic. Alright, so now that that's done, guys, let's actually look at our layouts now. So let's go in here into our res, let's go into our layouts, and okay, so this is fine. I'm just going to change this to main activity really quickly. So just type in activity main, just to make things easier, refactor that. And we're going to make 3 ones like I said. So we're going to make their layouts really quickly. New layout resource file. We're just going to call this one fragments. Let's just call this one, just fragment1 is fine. Now this is a terrible name for a layout file, but it's fine. This is just a quick tutorial, so fragment1 is fine. Let's actually make a new one called fragment2. Okay, looks good. And then just one more called, you guys guessed it, fragment3. Okay. And so now that's done, we can actually click on fragment1. And they're all just going to have a text view here. So I'm going to space this out really quickly because that kind of bothers me. And I'm just going to do a quick text view. So text view, wrap content. This text is just going to say fragments1, just so we know that we landed on fragment1. And this should be text, not text size, of course. Okay, looks better. Let me just go ahead and snap it back. So here we go. We're also going to make the gravity a center. So let's just type in gravity center. And that doesn't work. I believe we just have to use gravity in this one. So let's try it again. Gravity center. There we go. So there it is, fragment1. And let's make this bigger just so we can see it better. So text size. Let's do 24 SP. See how that looks. That looks fine. And we'll just bold it for good measure. So just type in style, or text style, I mean. And then just bold. Perfect. Okay, looks good. So let's copy this, or control A this. Let's go to fragment2 now. Let's actually paste that there. And change this to fragment2. And then let's do the same thing for fragment3. Okay, looks good. Alright, so now all that's left layout wise is to go into our activity main here and fix this up. So I'm going to snap this really quick to the right. I'm going to change this into a linear layout instead of relative layout. So linear layout. I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff. So all this padding here, we don't need that. As well as the context, we don't need that as well. And okay, looks good. And this does need an orientation because it is a linear layout. So let's give it one. Just simply type in orientation and it's going to be vertical. Okay, so now that that's done, let's come down here and let's just say Android. Try it again. .support. .design. .design. There we go. .widgets, and we're gonna grab a tab layout. Okay, so now the width is going to be match parents, and the height is going to be wrap content. So wrap content again, guys, just means take up as much space as you need to. / to close the tag, and that's fine here. So let's come down here and just give it an ID because we're going to have to reference it later. So ID, and let's just simply call this one activity _ main _ tab layout. Nice and simple there. Oh, and I am missing one more thing. I'm gonna put in this element, so tab or app, and I'm gonna have to import that package. So Alt Enter, and this is going to say tab mode fixed, which is going to allow us to, if you guys can see here, just kind of scroll up and down while still having this here on top. I kind of like the way that looks. Okay, so it looks good, and we just need one more thing, guys, the actual view pager itself. So this is going to be android.support .v4 .view and view pager. That's good. So the width is going to be match parents, and then the height is going to be, try it again. So height is going to be match parent as well. And let's just give it a quick ID. So ID. And let me try it again. So ID at plus ID. And we're just going to call this one simply activity _ main and then just view pager. Okay, looks good. Let's get rid of this text view because we don't need that. It was just there for default. Let's take a look how it looks. And it looks like I do have an error. Let's see what's going on here. Oh yes, I forgot to close the tag. So silly mistake. Review that. And so here we go. Now you guys can see we actually have the tab layout here and then the view pager there. That's pretty much it for our layouts. I'm just going to close all this. Now let's get some of our quick Java code out of the way. It's pretty quick, just boilercode. So let's go into our Java here. Let's just right click, new Java class. We're going to call this one fragment1. Okay, get rid of this. Now this fragment1 is going to extend fragment, but we got to make sure that it is the android.support fragment, not the Android app fragment. So android.support, that's good. So inside each fragment, we're going to have a method called new instance. So this is going to be private or public, and we're just going to say fragment1. This method is going to be called new instance. Okay, cool, and it's just going to return simply a new fragment1. That's pretty much it. And then we're just going to also override the onCreate, or we don't need the constructor, definitely not that. So let's get rid of all this. We actually need to override the onCreate view. Okay, so let's get rid of all this. And here we're just going to say view is going to be equal to our inflator.inflate r.layout, and we do need to import that r statement, which should be coming up soon, or I guess not. So r.layouts.fragments1, comma, this is going to take in a parent or our container, and then finally we're not going to want it to be attached to roots, so just type in false. Okay, and then simply to finish this off, just return our view. And that's pretty much it. Now, I guess this is kind of redundant. It's going to say it is redundant because well, to be honest, it kind of is. So we can actually just get rid of all of this. Let's just do this the pro way, and I simply just say that. And that's good enough for that. Okay, so that's the first fragments class, or yeah, the Java code. So let's just make them really quick. They're going to be very, very, very similar. So fragment2. This is going to extend fragments. Get rid of this. And same thing, public void. Oh, and it should be public. It is public. Okay, just making sure. This should be fragment2, not void, because we wanted to return a fragment2. So fragment2. And we're just going to call this one new instance. Okay, simply now just return new fragment2. And you guys guessed it, we just need to override the onCreate. Oops, kind of lost it there. onCreate view. And same thing, guys, just inflator.inflate r.layout. And there's going to be fragment2. And then, of course, we pass in our container and false for the root. Okay, so just one more. Oh, I forgot the return statement here. There we go. Now just fragment3's Java code really quickly. So fragment3, get rid of all this. Extends fragments. And public, static, or not static, just public, fragment3. The method is going to be called new instance, just like before. It doesn't need any parameters. And then just simply return new fragment3. And it's actually just same thing, guys. Just override the onCreate. Or the onCreate view, I mean, definitely not that. So let's try it again. Just like so. There we go. Get rid of this line and return new, or just return inflator dot inflate r.layout dot fragments. This was fragment3, so fragment3. We need a view group, so let's pass in the container here. In case you guys are wondering why we're passing a container, that is one of the arguments inside this override. And we do need a boolean. Is this attached to the root? Let's just say no, so false. Okay, so we just got the very basic fragment code out of the way to start off. We also got our layout out of the way as well. Got all of our layouts here. And so now all that's left is to actually just make a adapter for our view pager and then just hook it up to the UI. All right, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time.